welcome to NeoUnrealist. Pardon the creative liberty I took there with that opening clip. I just couldn't help myself. Some of you may have recognized it as the opening scene for the 1993 film Demolition Man. It starred Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. Now, without going too deep into the plot, it depicted a dystopian future where the greater Los Angeles area of California descended into a crime-ridden hellhole where the LAPD operated more like arm of the military, to keep up with the depredations of powerful crime gangs who carved out a de facto sovereign control over vast swaths of LA County. Now, at some point in the new century, prior to the year 2032, in this film, Los Angeles, San Diego, and Santa Barbara had grown so dense that they merged into a combined megacity called San Angeles, and a benevolent dictator arose named Dr. Copto, who by various means managed to create what looks on the surface to have been an SJW's wet dream version of a utopia. Anyway, the police in this place were so defanged and pacifistic that the most common concern for public safety was violations of the verbal morality statute against using obscenity.
Are you shitting me?
John Spartan, you are fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal morality statute.
Yes, apparently the scriptwriters for the film, they also foresaw the great toilet paper purge, as in this dystopian future, toilet paper is impossible to come by.
Toilet paper?
Oh, they used handfuls of wadded paper back in the 20s.
Now you know why people are hoarding this stuff. Must be having flashbacks to when they saw this movie. But, seriously though, as I record this from the confines of the secure, non-disclosed bunker, one can not help but notice the alarming trend of the powers that be in multiple jurisdictions run by Democrats across the country and over the past couple of days of just announcing that they would, for the foreseeable future, not be arresting people for a variety of so-called low-level crimes. Anecdotally, I saw someone interviewed on one of the cable news channels yesterday who said that there'd only been 60 arrests in all of Los Angeles County the day before, down from an average of over 300 arrests per day for the same time period one would typically expect. That's roughly an 80% reduction in the number of arrests in LA County. Yet somehow, I'm going to guess that there was not a corresponding decline in the amount of crimes that were committed. I mean, just guessing that the people who shoplift, break into cars, commit burglary, low-level drug dealers and the like, they didn't stop plying their trade just because government officials asked them to stay home and wash their hands all day. Now, put me down in the incredulous column for the betting pool that the Crips and the Bloods will lay down their arms and link hands and sing Kumbaya together because, the politicians and the police chiefs of these cities are telling them to. As a matter of fact, we don't even have to speculate what the result of this kind of policy would be because of the simple fact that, at least here in New York City, it's pretty much been instituted before the first case of Wuhan virus ever set foot in the United States since January 1st of this year. They changed the rules around pretrial detention and bail. Now, 2 weeks ago, the New York City Police Department cited New York State's bail reform overhaul to explain this horrendous spike in crime in the first 2 months of the year. On March 2nd, with basically only, as I said, those 2 months of data, it was revealed that already 482 people arrested this year in 2020 and then cut loose by these so-called reforms had already reoffended with new crimes. Those 482 people, they were responsible for a total of 846 crimes, and about 300 of them were among the 7 major felonies, as they're called, such as sexual assaults and homicides. Now, prior to January 1st, those suspects would have been subject to pretrial detention policies, under the previous system. Instead, they were cut loose, and that's 846 totally preventable crimes that occurred as a result, including, as I mentioned, 300 of the big the big 7 type felonies. Now, these numbers that I'm citing to you, you got to keep in mind, these aren't just abstract statistics. Each one of them represents a victim of those crimes. Overall crime is already up 20% in New York City. Now, those of you on the left who watch my videos, and there are a few of you, I notice you lurking out there, perhaps you're already muttering to yourselves, Neo's buying this baloney from a racist police department. It's just trying to cover for their failures. I mean, well, if you don't take the word of the police department, how about the far-left woke progressive mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, who admitted publicly that there is a direct correlation between the change in the law and a sudden and large spike in crime. So to all you mayors and city managers in Democrat-run cities, I suggest you rethink this insanely stupid idea of giving criminals a free pass to commit crimes. Now, as if this idea wasn't stupid enough on its own, this is not even the worst part about it. Let's say, just for the sake of argument, that you managed to convince me that this was a good idea to do. Okay. So NeoUnrealist is on board with instructing the cops to take it easy on arresting people for a variety of criminal offenses, to keep a lid on the prison population. So having made this decision, why would you say it publicly? Are these politicians and officials this dumb? How can I put this in a way they'd understand? I know. Picture this. You get up in the morning, you've got to go to work. On your way out the door, you discover that the lock doesn't work. You can close the door, but no matter what you do, it won't lock. You have a really big meeting you can't postpone, so you decide you're just going to go to work, leave your home unlocked, and deal with the situation when you get back. Well, if you had to do that, would you make a big sign and stick it out in front of your house to announce to any and everyone passing by that your door is unlocked and no one is at home? Do you think you would have anything of value left in your house when you got back if you did something that stupid? I mean, why would you broadcast to criminals in your city that they more or less got a free pass to, free reign for some period of time to commit crimes? Sounds to me more like the beginning of the Purge. Seriously, what the hell is going on? To me, this has got to be some kind of deliberate political agenda, because no one with a lick of common sense, no one with 2 working brain cells, would reveal to criminals a reduction in the chance that they'd face consequences for engaging in criminal activity. But last but not least, you have some jurisdictions who are taking this even a step further. They've decided to just arbitrarily release prison inmates, convicted criminals, in an effort to reduce the population inside to prepare for the coming Wuhan corona apocalypse. Yeah, I get it. The prison population is particularly vulnerable because they're packed in there like sardines. Some places 2, 3, even 4 to a cell or more. Now, I'm not one of those guys who says, to hell with the inmates. I do believe that if the state locks you up and deprives you of your freedom, they're obligated to look after your health, your welfare, and your safety. You can't do it as an inmate. You're not a free person, so the state's responsible. But the answer isn't to just turn criminals loose on the street arbitrarily. Now, with the situation that I described to you in New York City, where they'd already pretty much changed the bail laws, think about it. The only people left in Rikers Island are the ones that aren't there for petty crimes. Those are the people who did stuff so bad, they didn't qualify to be let out under the more lenient rules. They're not holding bunches of shoplifters or people charged with small-time drug possession in there these days. They don't hold you for those things on bail anymore under the new rules. And the population that's left is who they'd be presumably letting out. Now, come on. All this is going to do is create more problems than it solves. And most important among them is the victims of the crimes that otherwise didn't have to occur because this was done. That's all for this NeoUnrealist. If you want to help the channel, do me a favor. Hit like for this video. Leave a comment below. But mash down on the subscribe button if you're not already subbed to the channel. And click on the notification bell beside it. If you want to keep up with the new content, you got to set it to the all setting. And you got to make sure that your YouTube settings are set up to let you get notifications. If you want to contribute directly to the channel, toss your hard-earned dollars into the tip jar. Follow the links below to Patreon, Subscribestar, or PayPal. Or if you watch this on BitChute, you can just click on the green tip pledge button on the video player. Most importantly, thank you for watching.
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.